The presence of Asians in Uganda was a result of the deliberate choices by the British administration that ruled Uganda from 1894 to 1962. They were brought to the Ugandan Protectorate by the British to serve as a buffer between the Europeans and the Africans in the mud rug of commerce and administration. So in addition, in the 1890s, 32,000 laborers from British India were brought to Southeast Africa under the labor contracts to work on the construction of the Ugandan railway. So most of the surviving Indians returned home, but 6,724 individuals decided to remain in the Africa's Great Lakes region. So after the line's completion, most of them went on to remain in Uganda. So at the time of the expulsion, there were approximately 80,000 individuals of South Asian descent in Uganda, of whom 23,000 had their application for citizenship both processed and accepted. So Idi Amin Dada would go on to argue that since all of them were British subjects at the same point, he was right to include even those who had taken out their Ugandan citizenship. So the net result was to create a category of persons who are neither British nor Ugandan, but stateless. Now you see, the British had invested in the education of the Asian minorities in preference to that of the indigenous Ugandans. So by early 1970, many Indians in the Southeast Africa and Uganda in particular were employed in the fashion and banking business, and Indophobia was already ingrained by the start of Idi Amin's rule by February 1971. Now, while not all the Ugandan Asians were well off, they were on average better off than the indigenous communities, constituting 1% of the population while earning a fifth of the national income. Indians were stereotyped as merely traders and labeled as dukawalas, who tried to cheat unsuspecting purchases and looked out only for their own families.